All right, welcome to the Explainer. So, we're all hearing it, right? AI is the future. It's everything. But what if the whole thing, this massive boom, is, well, built on a house of cards? Today we're digging into an analysis that asks a pretty provocative question. Is the AI industry a revolutionary force, or is it just a massive bubble waiting to pop? Okay, so the analysis we're exploring today doesn't pull any punches. It gets right to the heart of it and asks, is this AI boom we're living through actually driven by real, tangible innovation, or is it a very, very carefully constructed illusion? To really wrap your head around just how massive this is, the source points to Nvidia, the company making all the chips that power AI. At one point, its valuation hit an absolutely staggering $5 trillion. I mean, to put that into perspective, that is bigger than the entire economy of most countries on this planet. Just wow.
But here's where things get really weird, and this is the paradox the analysis points to. According to some economists, if you actually take the AI sector out of the equation, the growth for the entire rest of the US economy was a minuscule 0.1%.
So you've got this massive disconnect, right? AI looks like it is the entire economy. And that's what makes the source start to really follow the money. Because when you do, the whole thing starts to feel, and I'm quoting here, a little Ponzi scheme-y.
Okay, so let's follow that money trail. How is all this cash actually moving around? Well, the analysis uncovers what it calls a circular financing loop. And yeah, it's basically a multi-billion-dollar game of hot potato.
Okay, so check this out. The analysis gives a really clear, though simplified, example of how this works. You've got money flowing from Nvidia to OpenAI, which then pays Oracle for data centers. And then guess who Oracle buys its chips from? You got it. Nvidia. The money basically does a full circle and ends up right back where it started.
And the way the source puts it is just perfect. They say these companies are essentially passing around what looks like the same trillion-dollar check. And what's the point of all this? The argument is that it's all about inflating those revenues and stock prices on paper, making everyone look incredibly profitable, even if no real new money is actually entering the system.
And you might be thinking, okay, that's one example, but the analysis says, no, this is not an isolated thing. It's an industry-wide web. You've got the huge players, Google and Amazon, pouring money into AI startups like Anthropic, who then turn right around and spend that same money on cloud services from Google and Amazon. The lines between customer, competitor, and partner get really, really blurry. Okay, so the money side of things looks a little funky. But what about the actual tech? Is it really as revolutionary as they say? This is where the analysis points to what it calls a productivity paradox. This huge gap between what AI promises and what it's actually delivering in the real world.
This is where things get really interesting. The analysis points to this huge conflict, and they cite a Financial Times report to back it up. On one side, you have the managers, the executives, telling reporters that AI is amazing, it's a game changer. But then when you talk to the people actually on the ground, the story completely changes. They said, nah, nobody was actually using it.
And it's not just anecdotes. The analysis brings in some pretty stark data to back this up. You see studies suggesting that, look, a lot of the time this AI stuff isn't just failing to help, it's actively making work harder, forcing employees to spend their time cleaning up all the mistakes it makes.
Which brings up a huge question, right? If the tech is so often useless or even counterproductive, why are all these companies laying people off and pointing the finger at AI? The analysis proposes let's say, a much more cynical motive. AI isn't the reason, it's the excuse.
And here's the core idea of this layoff cover story theory. The argument is that managers have always wanted to do this, cut staff, make the remaining people work harder, and now the AI revolution gives them the perfect future-proof cover story to justify it. It sounds like an innovative business decision instead of just, cutting costs.
And the source says, just look at the evidence. It points to stuff like quiet rehiring patterns and major policy reversals. There's this great example with Klarna's CEO, who basically claimed AI could replace 700 customer service agents. But then, whoops, they had to start hiring humans again because the tech just couldn't do the job.
So when you put it all together, the analysis argues that the real story here isn't about amazing new automation. It's about making jobs less secure and piling more stress and more work on the people who are left behind, who now have to do their old job and babysit a buggy AI.
Okay, so this all leads to the big one, the really critical question. If this whole thing is a bubble, what happens when it pops? The analysis lays out two very different paths, one that's kind of contained and another that could be, well, catastrophic.
So the analysis lays out two futures. In the best-case scenario, the crash is contained. The big tech companies are so rich, they can basically just absorb the hit. It hurts, for sure, but it stays within Silicon Valley. But the worst-case scenario? That's a whole different story. That's a systemic crisis that could ripple out and affect all of us.
You're probably wondering, how could a tech crash spread to my pension fund? Well, the source points to a potential trigger, these really complex, hard-to-understand financial products based on things like data center leases. And these are being snapped up by hedge funds and other investors, essentially weaving the risk of the AI bubble into the very fabric of our global financial system.
So at the end of the day, the analysis we've walked through leaves us with this huge, lingering question. We're told AI is the future, but what kind of future is it? Is it one of real, genuine innovation that lifts everyone up? Or is it just a very clever, very big financial racket?